Hey guys, it's Evan the Cat King here with another What If Total Drama video. Today I'm doing What If because one thing that I noticed back on the first, the one What If that kind of just randomly blew up my channel for to gain me a few 30 subscribers in a day. I think it was the What If Lashana didn't get eliminated. Bro, chill. And a lot of people were talking about plot armor. Heather and Owen having a lot of plot armor. So I thought it would be fun to try something to make a season of what if no one had plot armor in Total Drama Island. So yeah, that's what this episode is. And we are going to have to go through the whole season, so I might as well get started. Okay, so the first episode, Not So Happy Campers. You could say that Courtney had a bit of plot armor, but I think that there's a specific spot that I'm thinking of where Courtney probably has more plot armor. So I am going to keep it the same as Ezekiel being eliminated here. The Big Sleep. This episode doesn't have any real plot armor. I don't think Eva being eliminated here really changes too much. I don't think that Courtney's really being saved here through plot armor, or Duncan, or anybody else. I think that's just... I don't think it really changes anything. Dodge Brawl, this is another one with a lack of plot armor with the elimination. Well, you could say Lindsay or Heather might have been eliminated instead of Noah, but the elimination is reasonable enough to keep it the same. I think Noah stays eliminated here. Not Quite Famous. This episode is another one that you could say that Heather has plot armor, but they give us a reason for why she doesn't get voted out instead of Justin. That's why I'm keeping it the same. Sure, she very much could have been eliminated here, but again, they gave us a reason. She manipulated Lindsay, Beth, Izzy, and Owen to all vote for Justin with her. So even if the other 5 did vote together, and I've seen a big thing showing that Cody probably voted for Trent because he likes Gwen. So yeah, I think that this episode should stay the same. The Sucky Outdoors, this episode is just another one that doesn't have plot armor. Katie is gonna get eliminated here. Oops. Phobia Factor. Now this one will be the first to change, because I think it's very well known that Tyler was robbed in this episode. Tyler, his challenge was to go into the chicken pen with the chickens. He did that. And yet, he was still considered to have not completed his phobia challenge. So, a big thing is, Courtney 100% had so much plot armor here. Tyler should not have been screwed in this episode, and he won't be, because this time he won't. Up the creek. Now, this episode, Izzy does cost them the challenge, and that is why she gets eliminated and she comes back anyways. I don't see the point in not having Izzy get eliminated here, because I mean, you could say maybe Heather could have been eliminated here, but again, I don't think that this one really matters, because Izzy does end up coming back in the end, so what's the point in not eliminating her here? Paintball Deer Hunter. This episode also makes sense because Cody got injured, and this means that he will still be getting eliminated in this episode. So Cody is staying out. If you can't take the heat. Now this episode has 2 people who definitely have plot armor. These 2 are Owen and Heather, the 2 main people who get plot armor throughout the entire show. Now, they both had a lot of reasons to be eliminated here. Owen eats the ribs before they are able to give them to Chris, and Heather is being Heather. As much as Owen screws up, I think that people would rather vote out Heather because of Owen's likability. So in this version, Heather will be eliminated here. The plot armor is not going to keep her in any longer. And as much as I would say Owen should probably get out here, may it also had a lot of plot armor in this, I think Heather did have more. If it wasn't for like the whole tiki doll thing from that with Beth, she 100% would have been eliminated here. Who can you trust? Sadie, go. There's nothing here. I don't know. Basic straining, this episode will have Harold get eliminated because he has no one to change the vote on to get back at Duncan. Harold kind of has a bit of plot armor here. If it's mainly because he rigs the votes, but with Courtney gone, there is no one to rig it against. Unless he wants to rig it at Duncan, which I don't know why he doesn't just do that. But yeah, So, extreme torture. This episode will definitely have Tyler get beat by Lindsay, and Tyler will get voted out here. So, we will have a very similar merge, but I feel as if it still makes sense. Not too many people with plot armor in these situations, but Tyler made it a lot further. I see Tyler replacing Harold, and we see Tyler wipe out a lot. If he wipes out when just regularly water skiing, how do you expect him to beat Lindsay in the skiing without water? I feel like it's safe to say that Tyler would get beat there. Brunch of disgustingness does not matter. That's just, I don't know why I included it. No pain, no game. This episode will once again see both Eva and Izzy make their returns to the show. So they are added. That's why I don't feel the need to keep them along because say that that plot armor was involved there, because they're going to return anyways. So they will return to the competition. Their episodes didn't change. This episode also won't change because the only person who you could say had plot armor is gone, and that being Heather. I don't see why anybody would have voted Owen off here, and so that's how it's gonna go. That's you could have said that Heather could have been voted out here, but instead of Eva, but Heather is gone, so we're just gonna search and do not destroy. This episode will be very much changed. With Heather gone, she won't kiss Trent, causing him to get eliminated. Also, Beth will replace Heather in the challenge, and I don't see her getting past Chef. And that means that no one gains invincibility. Now for the vote, I see 3 groups forming here. One is Owen, Izzy. Okay, this is really awkward. Here, Owen, Izzy, Lindsay, and Beth are going to be one group. The second is Gwen, Trent, Lashana, and Bridget is kind of in the middle here because... And then the last group will be Duncan, Jeff, and DJ. Bridget's kind of in the middle because she's friends with Gwen and Lashana, but she also is fine with, but she kind of wants to stick with her former Killer Bass teammates, especially Jeff. So either way, I see both of the other groups targeting one person, and that is Duncan. They showed that Lindsay doesn't like Duncan, and Gwen and Lashana voted for him in the episode after this, in the original canon. So I don't see, as much as maybe Owen or Trent might not be too thrilled about voting off Duncan, I don't think that they'll change it. I don't think Bridget will stop them from voting. I think Duncan he had you could say Duncan had quite a bit of plot armor. He was a bit of a challenge threat, and yet nobody ever really targeted that. It seemed as if that could have been a major reason to vote him off, and this time they will vote him off for being a bit of a jerk and being a bit of a threat to the challenges. Hide and be sneaky. When this challenge happens, Lashana will once again win the challenge, and I can see both Beth and Lindsay getting caught earlier, but getting invincibility because they will catch Owen and DJ. They will go with Lindsay's plan and both get invincibility. So I see Lindsay and Beth practically taking the place of Lindsay and Heather here. They'll get caught. They'll be the first two caught. Lashana will obviously have the same hiding spot and not get caught. So I think Lindsay and Beth will be in the same spot as Lindsay and Heather and catch Owen and DJ. And instead of Heather just taking credit for both of them, Lindsay will take credit for one of them and Beth will take the credit for the other, meaning that they will both have invincibility as well. So we will have 3 people with invincibility, being Lashana, Lindsay, and Beth. Now, everyone else will be caught and will be vulnerable during the vote. I think Jeff and DJ will go to Owen's group and choose to vote out someone from Gwen's group. I think this will be where they vote out Gwen. It is threatening seeing Gwen and Trent as a couple here. So I think, and as they might vote for Trent more than want to vote for Trent, but I see Owen, DJ, and Jeff realizing that that if they vote out Trent, then gender-wise they're going to be very much outnumbered. It would be 6-3, and I mean, I think that Duncan was clearly the one who originally noticed that, but I think that they could probably figure that out and choose to vote for Gwen. Plus, they probably like Trent more than Gwen. So I think that this is gonna be where Gwen gets eliminated. Gwen is another one who you could say had plot armor. Of course, she's important to the plot of Total Drama Island, so in many places she could have been eliminated, but just kind of stayed in because of plot relevancy. Now, for That's Off the Chain, this episode has Trent being depressed about Gwen instead of Jeff being depressed about Bridget, because Jeff has Bridget still. Bridget is here. Now, so I see Lindsay, Owen, Bridget, and Trent being the ones to pass the not Beth. Onto the second part of the challenge, where I do think Lindsay is going to win. Lindsay will actually come first in this challenge. She will win because she doesn't have a reason to just stop. She would have passed by the piranhas if she hadn't stopped for Heather. So I think it's safe to say Lindsay comes first in this challenge. Now, there was originally plot armor in the form of Duncan and Owen getting themselves not actually finishing the challenge, and yet they didn't go home. Instead, it was Lindsay. So, with that in mind, I think it is in the spirit of this video, Owen will go home here. He didn't finish the challenge originally. He had major plot armor for the future, and that'll lead to him being eliminated here. Hook, line, and screamer. I'm happy to say Lindsay makes it past That's Off the Chain, but she will totally fail here. She gets so scared by everything worse than DJ, so Lindsay is screwed here. Lindsay... I could see her DJ maybe being worse, but at the same time, Lindsay got scared by Beth in Season 2. I don't think that we have to And I just don't. She's so like very. If she gets scared by a cockroach on the first episode of the season, what's stopping her from from freaking out so much by hearing that maybe they're stranded with a psycho killer? Anyways. Wawanakwa Gone Wild. I see DJ being very good at this challenge because he has Bunny and is very good with nature. Jeff and Lashana were decent but didn't win. But in reality, this challenge doesn't matter because it's not actually for invincibility. So who cares who wins this challenge? Originally, Gwen did win the challenge, but the vote ended up coming down to her and Izzy. This is strictly a reward challenge, and it doesn't matter who wins this one. Now, so I think that this will be where people challenge Bridget. People challenge Bridget because she's been. Vote for Bridget because she's been good at most of the challenges and her relationship with Jeff is very strong. So in this version, Bridget is getting eliminated. She's constantly doing pretty good in the challenges. She made it to part 2 and that's off the chain. I could even see her maybe coming second place in that. I think that she's They said that she was a bit of a challenge threat earlier in the season, back when she got eliminated originally, but now, so I feel like they turn to that as well here, and especially with the fact that her and Jeff are still here together, they need to get rid of that last, like, really strong duo. Now, Trial by Triumph Triathlon. Originally, Jeff got screwed by plot armor, and this time it won't happen. And I feel like there is one person who has major plot armor, but makes it very far. This person is Lashana. She instantly plants herself as a threat by winning 2 of the 3 first challenges, and yet no one ever votes for her. She doesn't even compete in the bike race, so I think all of the winning will finally catch up to her and get her voted out right here. I'm gonna say, just like in the original, it'll end up being a tie, so it doesn't matter. And Lashana is gonna get booted here. Okay. Crap, I chose to have Camp Castaways. And the person in 5th place gets out an episode before. Anyways, the losers will vote, and I see a lot of people voting for Beth to be taken off the island. Not because they don't like her, but because they don't think she deserves to be there. I'm gonna say that's I don't know. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna go with. Are we there, Yeti? I chose these teams at random. We have Trent, Jeff, and Izzy and DJ. Now, I see Izzy carrying her and DJ to victory, and that leaves Chef to choose between Jeff and Trent. And I see Chef voting Jeff out for being too goofy, too loud, too whatever. I could see him liking Trent more than he likes Jeff. So, in the end, we are down to the final 3 of Trent, Izzy, and DJ. Now for the final 3, Trent, DJ, and Izzy. They have to take on the dares of the other campers. I have no doubt that Izzy will 100% win this challenge. She's not getting eliminated here. She is going to be basically Owen in this. She is not going to be afraid to do any dares. She's going to get every single freebie, and so it doesn't really matter. It's down to Trent and DJ. And I am going to actually give the edge to DJ. You might think that out of these two, DJ seems very, unlikely to take too many dares. But at the same time, in Season 1, they showed DJ. All DJ is in Season 1 is just a bit, scared of horror movies. That's all that there is that is, a disadvantage for DJ in this season. and he's a little like, I don't know, I guess sensitive, I guess. But the thing is, Trent, they show back in the Brunch of Disgustingness that he has a weak stomach, said by him himself. So, one thing that happens quite a bit in this challenge is, well, eating gross foods, and I think that Trent is gonna give up, leaving us with the winners of Izzy and DJ. Yeah. So in this canon with if there was no plot armor, I see Izzy and DJ coming out on top. Trent coming to the final two. I mean, final three. Jeff made it a bit further. Beth made it a lot further, but either way, this is what I believe what would happen if there was no plot armor in Total Drama Island. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like always, leave comments, leave likes, subscribe. We're so close to 600. I'm so happy. But see you guys next time.